Good morning. Welcome to day 25 of Fear Not. Today is December 13th. No, it's December 15th, 2017. Today I'm going to talk about a word from Isaiah 43, Isaiah 43:18 and 19. And this is a King James Version. It says, "Remember ye not the former things, neither consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it springs forth. Shall ye not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert." So this is what the Lord is telling the prophet Isaiah in this particular chapter, because sometimes we can get caught up on how the way things used to be. And when God begins to do something new in your life, it can become scary and you don't know what's going on. And I can certainly relate to this, particularly in my life right now. But when God begins to do a new thing for you, you have to know that He's God. And even though the new way may look scary, and even though the new way doesn't look like it makes any sense, and you can't see how the new way is going to piece itself together, He's God. God can make a way in a wilderness. He can make rivers in a desert. God opened up a sea so that the Israelites could cross over to get out of Egypt. Jesus walked on water. God can do anything. And so I think that we have to kind of believe that, even though something new may be happening, even though that something new may be scary and we don't understand it, believe and know that He has a good plan and that He can do this. And as a Christian, God loves you. And there is favor on your life, and He has a good plan for you. So even though the new thing may seem ridiculous and scary and not make sense, He can do it. And then there's a verse in Zechariah 4 and 10. Zechariah is in the Old Testament, and it's kind of a small book, and sometimes it's a bit hard to understand. I will certainly say that. But there's this one thing, and I'm not going to quote it exactly, but it says, "Do not despise these small beginnings." And it's talking about the governor is trying to rebuild the temple, and for whatever reason, when you're starting out with something small, sometimes it feels like, it's never going to happen, or, I'm going to do it, but it's not going to be like I want it to be, or, why am I doing this? I'm not going to be able to do it well. Or maybe that's not how you feel, but maybe that's what other people are putting on you. But in Zechariah, it says that the Lord rejoices in those small beginnings. He rejoices in those. If you're doing something new and you're just starting out, and you're believing God and you have faith in Him that it's going to work out, He is rejoicing in that. And although you may think that it's small, He knows His plan. He knows the thoughts and the plans that He has for you, thoughts for good and not for evil, to give you hope in your final outcome. So even though that you don't know, you may feel like you don't know what you're doing. And I'm saying this to y'all today because there are a few areas in my life where I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to believe and trust God. And I believe it's in Zechariah as well. I was reading it last night. And he says that some things can't be done with like might or with power. Some things can only be done by the Spirit of God. Some things are we have to be completely reliant on the Spirit of God. Psalms 37 and 7 says, "Rest in the Lord and wait patiently on Him." Sometimes we have to rest and wait on Him and allow His Spirit to come through and allow His Spirit to do the work or to do the thing that needs to be done. Because some things don't come with power and might. Some things only come through the Spirit of God. And that made me think of another verse. Some things only come through prayer and fasting. So if you're kind of unsure, maybe, I'm not saying this, but if the Spirit is leading you, maybe you need to do some prayer and some fasting to kind of hear what the Spirit of God is telling you to do. I don't know. I might have been all over the place today, but I was just speaking truly about some things that are going on in my life. I hope that it was in some ways an encouragement to you guys. I would strongly encourage you to read the word for yourself. Go into Zechariah, the 4th chapter. Read that 4th chapter. It's a short book. You can read the whole thing maybe this weekend. Also, go into Isaiah 43. Read that chapter, because I certainly did a very quick overview, but a lot of times when you read the word of God and you read it for yourself with your own eyes, it will spring out on a page to you, and it will speak directly to your circumstances and to your situation. That's what it did for me last night. So I thank you guys for taking the time. For all of you who take the time to listen to this, thank you for that. I appreciate that, and I am humbled by it. So thank you, and I love you guys. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.